This setup right here made me $10,000. $10,000 just like that off of that setup right there. Now, the way I did it was I risked $1,000, aimed for a 1 to 2, so I made $2,000 right here. But you're probably asking yourself, how did you make $10,000 if you just said you made $2,000? I copy traded on 5 accounts. 2,000 times 5, simple math, made $10,000 just from this one setup right here. And I'm going to show you guys the exact levels that I marked out for me to be able to take this trade. So let me go ahead and delete this. Now, I did not record the live trade on the big screen, but I'll show you guys the live trade on my Instagram right after this. So these black lines, if you don't know and you haven't watched any of my other videos, the black lines represent supply and demand levels. In this example, it is demand levels because we are buying, right? So we have the M15, H4, H1, M5, and the M1, okay? So 5 time frames in Confluence, solid setup. Now, this green box right here, look at the market structure, right? You could basically call this a level of resistance if you trade support and resistance, but notice how we could not break this level multiple times and we finally broke past it. Well, when we look on the 1 minute time frame, what happens to that level as well? Broke past it, came, retested it, got to push to the upside, right? Well, what we were looking for was a pullback into those valid levels of demand to take longs from, and that's exactly what happened on Friday. So we literally waited and waited and waited for that level to get hit. And you can see right at 10:26 is when we got the entry and wicked past these first levels a little fast. I'm not going to lie. Like, it came down with more volume than I was anticipating, but that's all a part of trading. The key to this strategy is having multiple time frames in Confluence. Multiple time frames in Confluence is key. So when we broke past these levels right here, right, where did price go? Price went to these demand levels down here. Remember, the H1, M1, M5. Notice how we tapped into those. Then that's where that bullish momentum came. Literally went straight up after that all the way to TP2. Ended up securing 50 points off this setup, which again, I made $2,000 times 5 accounts. That's a $10,000 day just in one setup right there. But multiple time frames in Confluence, if it wasn't for that, honestly, this trade could have went to stop loss. If these demand levels were not here, price probably would have just kept pushing lower, looking for the next level of demand to bounce from. But that's the setup right there. That is what we were waiting for, and you could see literally it went perfectly. Now, let me show you the setup, like the little video on Instagram real quick. So let me drag this over here because I did not record it on, like regular or anything like that. So here's my Instagram. If you want to follow me, it's at OAlexZ. This is the live trade, okay? Let's see. Am I able to make this like bigger? I don't think so. I could be tripping though. So you can see we literally tapped into that level, right? Now we just wicked lower. Now we're at those demand levels I was talking about. Remember, I said if it wasn't for those, we probably would have just kept pushing lower and lower. Now look at this bullish momentum coming off those demand levels, right? So our entry was up here off the M15, but remember, multiple levels, multiple time frames of Confluence is key with this strategy. The way I trade supply and demand is unique. A lot of people do not trade it like me. This is the most accurate way in my opinion. But you can see now we're getting the momentum off of these demand levels. We're pushing up. Look at that volume coming in, right? Now this is TP1 for the traders that want to get out at TP1 in my group. A lot of times I trim at TP1, and that's a good level where you can go ahead and move your stop loss to break even as well. You can see we're still pushing up. Good volume. Fast forward this a little bit. Super close to TP1. And we just hit TP1 right there. So that's the spot where if you want to trim, you can, or if you want to get out at your full position, whatever it may be, TP1 is that first key target right there. Now, I told the team, I'm holding this for TP2 or I'm holding this for stop loss because this would have been a $10,000 day if it would have hit take profit, right? So I'm holding this. Now, this line up here, this is an M1 supply, right? Now I marked the previous contract candle on the M1 time frame. This is a level, like I told the team, where we're possibly going to be getting a pullback. So if you're still in the trade, just be aware that we might pull back a little, and look how this played out. Still pushing. All right, we tapped into that level. Yeah, tapped into the level. Now, basically what I'm telling the team is we need to break past this M1 right here. But supplies, we usually get a rejection from. So you could see rejection, right? And that's a pretty strong rejection coming off of that M1 supply. And I'm not going to lie. In this moment right here, I was thinking it was going to go down to like the break-even range or maybe even stop loss. And I'm like, damn, no way I just went that close to a $10,000 day. But let me fast forward this a little, let this play out. All right, look how we got that nice volume. Once we had that volume, that's when I'm like, yeah, this is about to go to TP2. Where did it reject from though? I don't have it marked out in this video, but I'll tell you guys, it rejected. Why? Because of this M1 demand right here. See this black candle right here? That's that previous contract candle to the push up. Mark the very top of that wick. That would be an M1 demand. Market likes to move off levels of supply, levels of demand. So you know how this M1 we rejected from? This M1 demand right here is where we could have gotten a push from. Now you can see market's pushing up. This is looking good. Candle flips, right? I'm chilling. I'm like, yeah, we flipped. This is going TP2. We're back at that M1 supply. There's a possibility we reject from there. But at this point, I just stay confident myself, stay confident in my strategy, and I'm just holding, right? Following my rules, telling the team we should hit TP2 right here. New candle opens. Once that candle closed right at that M1 supply and we had that bullish momentum coming from that one candle, I'm like, yeah, we're about to hit TP2 right here. Give it a little bit. TP2. Just like that. Listen. Right there. Look at that shit. I was hyped as hell, bro. $10,000, $2,000 across 5 accounts, $10,000 off that one setup right there. All you need to look out for is multiple levels of supply, multiple levels of demand and confluence, minimum 2 time frames in my opinion. Look at price action, make sure price action's looking good, stuff like that, and you are golden. But that's the setup that made me $10,000 in one trade. That's crazy, right? It's totally possible. The premium team's been banking. We're going crazy. The one-on-one students getting results. I mean, we are literally going crazy all 2026. TCU in itself is on the come up. So I just want you guys though to see that's just a simple thing right there that made me a lot of money using the same strategy I've been using for quite some time. You can go on my YouTube probably 1.5, 2 years back, right? And see, I'm still using the same exact strategy today. It's too good of a strategy. I'm not changing it up or anything, but that was a setup where I made $10,000. If you guys want to trade live with me, I'm live Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard Time at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click the link in the bio or click the link in the description that says trade live with me. If you want to learn from me one-on-one where I'll literally teach you everything I know, click the link in the bio or the link in the description that says work with me one-on-one or apply for the one-on-one mentorship. Hope to see you guys in the Discord. And if you like the video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.